So here's this update. Updates, what they're used to do is glitch or to maybe to update to make something newer, better. As you can see right now, the PlayStation is all glitchy. I never reported anything. So yeah, it's just PlayStation is garbage. Sony is garbage. Activision is like don't get me wrong, I prefer PlayStation over Xbox if I want to be a cheap bastard. It was completely free, and you didn't need PlayStation Plus, but if you did, you got free games. Now you need PlayStation Plus to PlayStation 4. Alright, well then I got more garbage because they're trying to compete with Xbox. Like, well, you don't compete by, making less people want to play it. Okay, but then they upped, and on top of that, both those bullcrap problems, now you got it, okay, we're PlayStation, we're all high and mighty, we've made everything worse and then better, we've made less people play, and we've turned away thousands of dollars of fans. Let's make into, to fix, rather than fix our problem, we're going to up the price on PlayStation Plus in order for you to play online. Well, awesome. You've just screwed yourselves up. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of retards like myself. I mean, let me explain. So, there's a lot of people still loyal to you, and because they already have so much progress and time invested, they're not going to say, well, we're not going to fight it, there's not going to be enough people to fight it. Not like the situation with Xbox saying, hey, we don't want cameras watching us, or we don't want all this other crap that you're adding on to Xbox One because it's not user friendly and it's garbage. So then enough people complained about it. Xbox was forced to do something, or I guess had to do something so they could improve their image, even though they're still garbage either way. So yeah. That's just stating, and I'm not saying it's complete garbage. Both systems have become from great, and then they had something to compete with each other, to just absolute garbage. And I mean, I might rant on that a little bit, but hopefully I don't get too into it. But yeah. So get this. This is what I wanted to talk about. So I have a couple images. Hopefully it shows. Alright, left application, microphone is the only thing being broadcasted. So I have these screenshots, and I don't know if it's actually going to show you. So I don't think that's going to work that way. So let me see if I can go. I'm going to go to Capture Gallery, and I don't know if you guys can see this. Certain applications of both microphone and audio game are being broadcast. Okay, good. You left applications, only microphone audio is being broadcast. Oh, which one is it? I'm so confused. Alright, so anyway, I'm at Capture Gallery. I don't know if you guys are seeing this. I might have to edit the video later, or if you want, I can, add a comment below. I'll send you the specific image you want me to, or specific pics you want me to send to you, and I can show it to you. But what I'm looking at right now, if you can't already see, oh god, someone sent me a bunch of stuff that I'm like, okay, dude, like, he's like, download it and share it to your friends. I'm like, no, I'm only going to share it to this one friend, because he's either into it, and he's like, or he's freaked out as much as I am, like, what the heck are you showing me? Anyway, so here we go. I'm going to go all the way down, and I'm going to explain why I took so many pictures, and I don't know if you're seeing this. So here's an issue I've noticed. Since the update, again, problems have been caused, problems have not been fixed. None whatsoever. Now, I will say PlayStation 4, Black Ops 3 for PlayStation 3, there's a lot less glitches. But with that being said, it seems, believe it or not, it seems, I try to play both evenly. I have friends on both systems who don't have both systems, and then I also have friends who do have both systems. So I try to keep my fans and my friends, I try to help both people if they need something done. Obviously not boost, I'm just saying, like, working together for Team Deathmatch, and because there's a lot of people out there who play Team Deathmatch, or sorry, not Team Deathmatch. So a lot of people who play objective games but don't play the objective. If you know what I'm saying, hopefully you understand what I'm trying to get my point across. And again, I'm gonna go into a little rant so I can just, make sense of what I'm saying and not just spewing out of my butt without explaining myself. So the thing is, if you're gonna go into domination game, there's always gonna be that douche, or multiple douches, not the entire lobby of douches, that are going to purposely avoid the objective at all cost. They're going to team kill you for absolutely no reason if you're not part of their fake clan that no one's knowing of, or just because they're randoms. They're going to sit there, teabag you, or block the doorway, and then either you kill them and get kicked eventually, or you will, you will just sit there and get killed because they'll block you and teabag you and get in your way, and then either you'll be forced to kill them, or while you're trying to get out of their, have them get out of your way, or just try to go around them. Another enemy is, of course, going to shoot you in the back, punch you both, and then start teabagging both your bodies, or, just shoot you both while this guy is being a clown, sitting there being a retard, boosting and trolling, and just being a complete retard. So I'm like, okay, all right, well, what am I supposed to do about that? So that's the thing. Since, maybe when you're thinking about the first, maybe Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4, yeah, I've noticed that when I actually played real games, most people were playing legit. Even the trash talkers, at least, had valid reasons to trash talk sometimes, but at least it was more occasional than it is now. Anyone who trash talks here now is ignorant, illiterate, completely. The irony is big, so they'll say everyone else is trash, even though they're always losing, or they'll say everyone else is camping when everyone sees them camping, and they'll either be smart campers by camping the entire time except for the last kill to make it look like they're so badass, and they'll pull out a sniper or a pistol or whatever, or they'll be like regular campers and they'll camp in a corner for the last kill, and everyone will see that they're camping. They already knew they were camping whether they shot the kill cam or not, but they'll say, oh no, I wasn't camping, I just got there. It's like, we all know what you did. And then there's also the gay butt buddy who's going to support, like, oh yeah, you suck, stop talking so much. Like, it's not about talking so much. Why are you supporting him? Why are you sucking him off when I'm just stating the facts? I'm not trying to be a douche. I'm not trying to trash talk for no reason. I'm stating what it's on any normal person's mind. Why are you camping? And the funny thing is, they'll be friends or they won't be friends, and they'll still suck each other off. Like, oh yeah, team up and bully someone that's trying to say, hey, why are you doing this? Please don't do this. Let's try to enjoy the game rather than being complete noobs about it. And they'll just respond in hateful, insecure ways by saying, oh no, you suck, you're garbage, your KD is trash, focusing on everything. Oh, and get this, so if your KD is garbage or not even, they'll say you're trash. If your KD is pretty good or above good, they'll say you're a tryhard and you have no life. So it's a lose-lose situation. They're insecure. They know they are garbage at the game, so they have to make some sort of excuse to rationalize their idiocy. So with that being said, I think I went on a rant a little bit too long. Let me try to keep this as minimum as possible. So right now I'm looking at my what is it? I'm gone to my capture gallery again. I'm going to Black Ops 3. I'm going down to the first one I took, and let me explain what this is. So this is a picture of my reptiles, and I like to unlock everything as early as I can so I don't have to deal with it later, and then I can only focus on keeping my KD up and good. So there's going to be a lot of trash talkers saying, oh, you suck, your KD sucks. It's like, well, if I'm only going for challenges and not trying to worry about being the best in the world, my KD's naturally going to suck, especially when you got campers, modders, hackers, cheaters, boosters, free-for-all people that are teaming up against each other, free-for-all people giving the other team the entire win for free, clowns that will purposely team kill you and get in your way and just be complete assholes. This video is going to get banned. Or wait, is it or is it not, because I'm not popular enough? I don't know. But yeah, so I used the A world hurt. Let me just go on a side rant for that. For those soccer moms, I'm sorry, but you deserve, for some of you deserve to be shot, in my opinion. Or maybe not shot, maybe I'm just so emotional right now. You just don't deserve to be moms, in my opinion, because here's what this is. Like, there's many things on the internet, like, you'll see a picture of Derpy crying, I'm sorry for being who I am, my eyes are naturally cross-eyed, I apologize, and it's actually made me cry. It's like, okay, so you got these hateful soccer moms, or, again, I'm just providing an example, I'm not trying to be judgmental, I'm just providing an extreme example. So yeah, you got these moms, oh, you're going to offend my kids, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, first off, why are you showing them this? Why are you buying them R-rated movies and R-rated games or M-rated games in the first place? Oh, well, because they're nagging me and I don't want to deal with them. Okay, well, there's something called discipline. There's something called age-appropriate video games. And what the funny thing is, like, another thing's on the internet, Pokemon, people it's supposed to be for is little boys. Who it's actually for is grown men or above 21 people. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, who is meant for little 7-year-old girls, whatever, who it's actually meant for a bunch of neckbeard, obese people having some sort of mental disability, or just somehow lacking in the average or normal image of what society expects. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to judge those. I'm just saying what I see on the internet, and I have problems with what they say. I mean, I agree with some of the things due to factual, but I disagree with some of the things because the way it's portrayed and how offensive it can be. But at the same time, I do not like how people are like, oh, let's be politically correct. Politically correct used to be, okay, what's a good example? So, what is it? Homophones, I guess? So, when you're saying, I'm going to the store, you're not going to put TOO, you're going to put not TWO, you're going to put TO. That's politically correct, and politically correct as far as I know, and again, correct me if I'm wrong in the comment sections below. But I'm just basing this off of memory and trying to say this as clear as I can, even though I'm slightly irritated from all this hypocrisy and nonsense. Politically correct, what it used to be, is just what's correct, whether it be politically for politics or worldwide based knowledge, just for being fact and matter of fact, and just anyone who's a common knowledge person for basic knowledge would know this. So if you're going to say discipline, oh no, I'm in trouble. No, ghetto person who has no idea what discipline is. Or maybe not discipline. I mean, I guess it could be used either way. All right, consequence, that's a better term. Oh no, I'm in trouble. The popo coming. I gotta shoot sideways. No. I'm just imagining in my head the guy from The Office. No, whatever. So, no, okay? The politically correct, how it used to be, the funny thing is politically correct, the way people use politically correct is not politically correct anymore, but it's the way society views it because of all this nonsense, racism, ignorance, illiteracy, idiocy. I'm not sure, but a lot of just things are not normal. Things are very just retarded. People are unintelligent, I can't even say it right now. I'm so flustered. Forget it. Sophisticated. I can't even pronounce it. I'm just so flustered. I forget what it's spelled like anyway. So people who are just not well brought up or just not understanding simplicity. So consequence is not being a bad thing. Consequence is the end result or the action of something that has taken place, whether it be human or, okay, the nature's hurricane started hitting that tree. The consequence, naturally, not by man, not artificial, but nature's way, the consequence of the wind hitting the tree is that it got knocked down. So, or, okay, the person saved the baby from getting run over by a car. The consequence, oh yeah, I said it the way it can be viewed either way. I said it, you ignorant retard. No, consequence is a bad thing. No, you're in trouble. It's like, no, I know you're ignorant. I know you feel like, oh, I'm going to be a G, I'm going to be a gangster, thug, like all that retarded crap that, oh, since it's the downward spiral of, oh, he's doing it, let me do it. Oh, it's not, it's racist to not be like everyone else. It's racist to not give the person who didn't sign up the trophy a trophy just because they want to not be racist and give them perks. It's like, no, you're being racist by giving them perks and not treating them equally, which is the whole thing. It's like, no, we're going to treat you racist, but in a way that doesn't seem racist to those who are ignorant in the first place and a gangster in the first place. It's like, and they're not going to see it because like, oh, I'm getting free money. Why should I complain? Yet they'll say enter. And see, there's going to be a lot of ignorant people say, oh, he said the N-word. No, I said enter, N-E-R. I didn't say the word. It's a lot complicated to keep saying the N-word when I'm trying to make a video and explain things as fast as I can. So, yeah, I said it. Consequence. It's the positive, negative, any result of something happening after the fact, or the result of something okay, 1 + 1, that is the event. Now the result, the consequence is, or the result is 2. So I mean, no, it's not fish, no, it's not a trophy, no, it's not the popo are coming, it's 2. and just accept that. Don't be ignorant. Don't try to make things more complicated than they have to be. It's 2. Just be done with it. So anyway, yeah, this has become more of a rant than I wanted it to be. But all right, so I keep like making this big tree, and these branches keep leading to this, and all this other very, very crappy things that, you know, when people used to be neighbors, and now everyone for themselves. It's just I could go on and on and on, but let me get to the video I'm trying to explain. So yeah, yeah. So the issue is, all right. So look, bummer. I have it unlocked, even though it's not unlocked for every other one. Even though, with that being said, I have unlocked all the ones for the other ones, but it shows that it is locked, even though I already unlocked it. And here's why. It's another update. So it got rid of everyone but the red dot site. The last camo or last rectile, the last rectile you can unlock, which is strange. So what it says when I go to bummer, and I'll show you some other videos, and it shows a guy with a pink smile, frown face, and it shows get 500 kills. Now prior to this, the last ones after you unlock the basic ones, so like, you know, 100, 200 through 500, and then there would be like get double kills, get long shots, get headshots, get bloodthirsties, that sort of thing. And based on the gun, it might change from here to there. Like if you get the thermal, throw a smoke grenade and get kills using thermal in that smoke grenade, that would be for thermal example. And instead, it says get 500 kills. Yet for the funny thing is, I have 500 kills and have the rectile that shows 500 kills. Yet it says get 500 kills for the rectile. Now, if there were 2 rectiles both asking for the same thing, would you think, well, there's 2 possibilities for that? Get 500 kills, okay, that one's done, so now I have to get a complete other 500 kills. No, because of the way Call of Duty works, you can combine certain things. So let's say I have a bloodthirsty. If I get a double kill and then 3 kills on top of that, because they're 2 separate challenges, but they don't have to be done separately, they combine. As long as you get a double kill and then 3 additional kills, that will count still as a bloodthirsty, because it's a bloodthirsty medal, it's a double kill medal. So, so yeah, I just, that's what I want to explain about that. So, yeah, thermals, every last rectile for every site has now been turned into but obviously for those ignorant people, well, this site doesn't even have rectiles. Well, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. I wasn't talking about that, but whatever, you know, trying to correct someone and you're walking in or either late or just looking for an argument. But yeah, so this is the only exception, is the red dot site, and maybe it's different for you or others, I don't know, but it's just, since the update, it's just completely screwing. Also, I've noticed if I go to my zombie rectile, I'll have the last one unlocked, and it won't even say I earned it for anything. It won't say there's like a challenge to complete. It won't say a star next to it. It'll just show it, and that's it. And that's not how it used to be. It used to be for zombies, it would just be a certain amount of zombie kills, or any kills for that matter. I mean, I don't know if Margot's count, but whatever. So just a certain amount of kills, and you would unlock them bit by bit. And I think it went from like, I don't know, no. I don't know, like let's just say 200 kills to 5,000 or greater. From right now, it says the maximum is 5,000. Then you get this one that you unlock for free. And you know, I don't play zombies as much on PS4 that but I'd like to, because I'm trying to constantly focus on the challenges that are limited challenges that I want to unlock. Because I'd rather unlock something that I can get now but won't be able to get later, versus something I can get later and then come back to it when everything else is complete. Which is why I don't play zombies as much, because those challenges seem to be you just can unlock them anytime you want, whereas as multiplayer, they're very limited and special things. Like, for example, I don't know if this is true, but for those who weren't, for example, my friends weren't here for the boxing glove challenge. They didn't get any calling cards. They didn't get any boxing gloves. Some of them did, some of them didn't, or claimed to have anyway. I'm not sure. And it's just a very glitchy system, because Call of Duty doesn't care. They're like, more money, less problems, even though it's more money, more problems. You know, we're going to take away server quality and just say, you know, screw you. There's enough people that will still be loyal to us that we don't care about everyone else who actually cares about a good quality game, you know. But anyway, so again, off on another rant. So I'll go to the other 2 sites, like the Recon, for aka the ACOG that we all know. It has the same issue, except it doesn't show the last one. It says locked, and again it says 500 kills, and it just won't let me unlock it. okay, maybe there's a possibility, okay, maybe I have to get additional 500 kills. Nope, I'll try getting a kill with it, 5 kills, the entire game with it, and it will show the bar still at 0 out of 500. So I'm like, okay, so it's not a matter of get it additional 500 kills separate from the 500 kills you already got with it. It just won't let you complete it at all. It's just completely glitched. And I sent a text or a tweet to Twitter, which I find just complete garbage site. I mean, and it's my opinion, it's not a fact, but it's very unuser friendly. Maybe at one point it was, but there's no way to just to tweet someone or send someone a message. And if there is, maybe you can comment section below. But I'm looking at Activision's site. I searched Activision. There's not like the written quill like there is in the upper right hand corner, so I can't send that. And certain times it will let me send them a message, but it's again like, why? If you want to message them, you should be able to message them. It should not be unuser friendly. It should be, okay, I want to send a message. There's the message button, and then be done with it. Not all this complicated. Oh, there's a quill here. There's a weird looking lightning bubble speech thing here where I can send a message. No, you should say a message button, and you can message them anytime you want, unless they block messages from that person, or it's just not a message site. But due to them being so well known, they shouldn't have it to where they block it unless it's a person who's being harassing them. Then they should just block them and that individual alone, not through the fact that, because they've already been crap. They've already made from crap to utter cow manure. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. They went from like a rusted bronze metal of quality to just complete diarrhea, sewage, toxic waste crap. So they used to be able to call them, because you don't want to wait online and have that be, because it's just quicker to call them and you're talking to an actual person. Then they did the text chat. Then they got rid of that. Then then there's like no way to contact them whatsoever. It's like, oh yeah, there is. You just gotta send us a message and we'll never get back to you. It's like, okay. So then, oh yeah, talk to us on Facebook, talk to us on Twitter. Well, Twitter is completely unuser friendly. Facebook, they never get back to you, or at least for me, they have not gotten back to me. And then another thing with Twitter, like for example, if there's no message button, there's no quill, there's no message icon, there's like this share looking thing that would be on YouTube, but instead of share, it's not sharing, it's replying, which is completely, I don't know what the term is. I want to say counterintuitive, but that's not. I don't think that is. It's just counterproductive, because you have two icons, one YouTube, one this, and they look identical, and they mean two different things. So I click on that, and it doesn't let me send it to who I want to, have all these extra links added in. So I'll have to delete that and hope that it doesn't send it to people that I'm not even wanting to send it to. Do they like, oh, who is this? What are you talking about? Shut the F up. Like all this other random crap I don't want to deal with. I'm already dealing with a whole bunch of crap through Activision and a bunch of stuff that I don't want to get into right now. So yeah, like I'll delete all that, and then I'll copy and paste, because again, knowing for the fact that I'm going to be lazy as hell and just busy counting their money, I send it to every Activision, Treyarch, Call of Duty thing I can, hoping that it doesn't get sent to some clan base or whatever. So I sent it all to that, and then I still haven't gotten a response. So yeah, Twitter's utter crap. No, I'm just gonna say it. Twitter's utter shit. I hate it. Maybe if it was at one point something like Facebook, and then it's just like I don't know, text version of Facebook. But I mean, isn't Facebook a texting thing in it? I don't know. It's just yeah. Tweeting, I like the idea. It sounds attractive, but it's just, I maybe came in it late. Maybe it used to be friendly, but now it's just complete crap. Or maybe it's a thing that I'm too old to understand, and I'm an old fart or something. It's like I'm only, well, I'm not gonna give away my age, but yeah, I'm not that old. So yeah, I just I don't understand. It's just completely not user friendly. Search engine or whatever it is. So yeah, alright, let me go back to my topic. So I've described the zombie reptiles, I've described the multiplayer reptiles, and as far as hold on. So as far as what else, yeah, so I described the reptiles. It's glitched. I don't like it. I want it to get 100%er, which I doubt you need this to get 100%er. And of course, there's a bunch of YouTube videos like saying one thing and saying another, a bunch of other people copying the other person just to get more views and likes, even though it's completely stolen and they won't give thanks, or they will. Whatever. It's just, there's always the possibility for anything. Alright, so I'm checking this other image and I don't think you can see it, but so, oh no, this isn't it. So I added the I'm creating I always keep 2 classes of the same gun when I'm trying to do all these challenges. The one where I'll have to do no attachments, and the one I will. Now until I get there, I try to unlock all the sight rectiles, and I'll use one sight and I'll replace it with a stun grenade that I'll have on hand for those who just camp and are utter trash, and I have to be a noob in order to get rid of the greater noobs, you know. Perform evil to get rid of the greater evil. For those who know what I'm coding, you rock, you are amazing, and if you support the ideas of what I'm coding, you are also God compared to regular men. So yeah, so I equipped to my AN-94 a thermal sight, and it has, because it doesn't have a iron rail or something you can attach it with just through the screw or grip. When you think of a basic assault rifle, it's got a weird back part of it, where if you can add the attachment of the headshot thing to make it better headshot damage, which really, if it's hardcore, you should just do one hit to the head and be done with it. But hit markers aren't hardcore. Call of Duty logic, you're around the corner, you still get killed, and it shows on them that you didn't go around the corner to safety. Whatever, Call of Duty for you. So yeah, I have this thermal equipped, and it shows, like, I don't know if you can see it, but when you just equip that, it shows like a thing attaching that, and it's attaching it to the sides. There's like little grooves and things. That's maybe it's made for it, maybe it's not, maybe it's just something that locks onto the sides of the gun, because there's no rail for the actual sight, so it locks onto the sides of the gun. You put a rail on top of something because it's supposed to have a rail, but it doesn't. So you install a rail and you put the thermal sight. Now it's there, it's all fine, that's no problem, right? So then I go to my class and I put all my best things for the ARs, in my opinion, or what I'm going to use for the all attachment class. And so I want to finish my rectile challenges. I'll put thermal, I'll put the headshot thing, the FMJ, full metal jacket, flash mags, extended mags, and rapid fire. It shows I put on whatever laser sight, because I don't have rapid fire yet. I'm only level 15 versus out of 18. So yeah, I'll equip the everything. I'm like, okay, hold on a sec, because I have a very particular eye mixed with photographic memory and all this other stuff. And I come back to it like, hold on, something just doesn't seem right. I go back to the class mid-game or after the game is done. I'm like, this looks different. Let me really visualize. Let me see why. So then I notice the bar holding the iron sight is not there, and the iron sight's just floating. And maybe parts of it is still connected to the gun, but it's not connected to the iron rail anymore. It's just floating, and it's somewhat touching the front part of the gun, and you just see an iron sight, the thermal sight floating with no iron rail to hold it down, and the sides are completely gone too. Or maybe there's a part of it, I'm not sure. But yeah, I've noticed, okay, well, let me do process of elimination. Let me be a scientist that I am, my scientific way of thinking. So I delete all the things, and it appears. I'm like, okay, so obviously it's one or a couple of attachments that is making this glitch. So I eliminate everything, and I do what I think most likely versus like going through all of them. I'm like, okay, well, the damage counters are FMJ and the headshot, so I delete those both at the same time, no issue. Now, the laser sight by itself is not probable due to the fact that it's not compatible with something or similar to something. So the damage attachments versus the longer lasting, or it's just having to do with ammunition at all. So I take away the fast mags and the extended mag, and I'm like, hold on a sec, I noticed something. So I noticed the rail appears back when I get rid of the fast mag and the extended mag. So I'm like, oh, so that seems to be the issue. There might be other issues with other attachments to make it disappear. I haven't tried it. I don't know for sure. I might try it later on. Hold on to YouTube. You can't. I'm in the middle of something. You can't come in. You have to talk to me later. This is not. Hold on. I'll talk to you later. Talk to you later. Talk to you later. Sorry, I got a guest in the house. She's a bit of a spaz. She doesn't know proper etiquette sometimes. So anyway, yeah. that seems to be the issue, and I don't know, if Activision is going to fix it or if it's not going to fix it. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. So the rectile issue, that issue, lots of lag, and sometimes if you, I've also noticed that if you try to share or live stream, there seems to be lag with not the server or not the with the server, not the internet. Like my internet's still fine, it still says it's full bars, doesn't seem to be draining enough to where it would make the entire system lag, but everyone starts lagging. I'm lagging. This is just a possibility. This is what my educated guess is, because it's like I won't be the host, everyone else is lagging, and I don't know, well, maybe it's just because I'm live streaming, maybe, I don't know. It's just the common denominator so far, so again, it's not actually determined, but my internet's perfect. I got very great high speed, the second out of the best, and it's still high speed that nothing should affect it at all. But yeah, Call of Duty, garbage servers, trying to make as much money as possible. Sit there counting their money, and it's like, well, let's invest less in our servers so that we can save even more money and give more bonuses to people that we can fire in an instant if we feel like it, because we're just going to be buttholes and not give a crap about quality anymore because we're making so much money. We're just going to keep shitting out games as quickly as possible and make ourselves billionaires, and then just keep I don't even know. Anyway, so that's the main thing I want to talk about, the site glitch and the rectiles. Let me know what you think, YouTube. Like this video if you liked it, obviously. Comment below if you think I should talk about something else, rant about something else, explain something if you have walked yourself into a glitch or know more about the glitch I've just described. Just comment about anything, really. Try to keep it appropriate if you can. If you do feel strongly about something or have offended someone, don't just say, okay, you're a butthole. Explain why, so that, and say, instead of being completely ignorant gangster wannabe, say, okay, I feel that this was incorrect. Try to say try to take responsibility, because it's not my fault if you feel offended and no one else agrees. So, alright, I feel that, start with I feel that your video is too long. Please try to shorten it. Okay, well, let me try to integrate that if it's possible. I will try to do that because you're my fan. I respect what you think. Okay, I'll try to do that. Or, you were offensive and you need to go kill yourself. Well, that's not educated, and that's just you being an ignorant wannabe thug life gangster. Go smoke some weed and kill some brain cells, cause cancer, whatever. And I'm not even going to go into that. For those, no, because now my inbox is going to explode. Okay, now, get this, alright? There's been millions upon millions of studies that show weed does cause cancer. It's not getting rid of cancer. Now, for those who are ignorant and pro-weed, of course, they're going to sell the weed and say, oh, it doesn't cause cancer, it gets rid of cancer, when it really doesn't. There's been millions upon the millions of study, and if you were to study, I don't even know, 5 sites that actually were legitimate and weren't money handed underneath the table, you would know that it is causing cancer. You're putting something in your lungs that is foreign, and it's not supposed to be there. When you think of the caveman diet, cavemen didn't have sugar. Sugar is a natural poison. It's not a poison enough to kill you, but it's something that affects your body as far as not being a natural product of what you should be eating. Cavemen ate, again, the caveman diet, this is out the beach diet. Cavemen ate primal lean meat and, maybe veggies when they became smarter and were farmers at that point. So, yeah, there's that. But yeah, weed is not something naturally should be in your body. I won't deny that it makes you feel good and probably is an amazing trip, and probably you'll never regret it because, you've had so much PTSD in your life. But really, is that something you should do? Have a will that's so weak that you have to escape to drugs in order to make yourself feel better about yourself, about life, about anything? For those who are better than average men or better than, others, and there's not everyone's created equal. It's just not. Genetically, it's impossible. So I'm going to say that right now. I hate everyone equally. I love everyone equally. It's not about race or anything. It's all about, natural selection. And I'm not going to say, oh, you'll go kill the weak. No. I'm going to say, people are built differently. Some people genetically are going to be stronger, maybe smarter, maybe a little bit goofier, maybe a little bit more creative, using the left side of the brain versus the right, and vice versa. So yeah, I mean, it really just depends. So there's that. But yeah, it has been proved to cause cancer, and you're putting toxins. I mean, people's like, oh, you're smoking my toxins, you're breathing my toxins. Toxins are toxic. That's where the root word comes from. Toxins are toxic. That's what it is. So, the reason why you can tell, 9 times out of 10 can tell what a weed smoker is, because they're slower in speech. They're usually, less no, I can't say less educated. They're not as sharp as they once were, because their brain functions at a slower rate, trying to compensate for all the poison you've put in your body. Now, if you've just smoked a big thing and it happens to open parts of your mind and maybe help you like read or makes books, yeah, well then good for you. But that's in the moment. It's a quick fix. And so that's why people say, give me my quick fix, because it makes you feel good and maybe even helps you, or maybe enhances your body for a limited time. But then it destroys you little bit by little bit. Which is why, I'm not going to die today. That could be true, but you're going to die eventually, and you're going to die sooner. Well, then I'm going to say YOLO. Okay, well, yeah, or I'm Christian, so I'm going to say, well, I'm going to go to heaven. It's like, okay, well, I'm gay, so I'm still going to go to heaven. Okay, I'm not even going to try to bring religion into this. All I'm going to say is in the Bible it says gays go to hell, and I'm going to say whether I'm Christian, atheist, whatever. I'm going to just say, if you're going to be Christian, accept the full part of the Bible. Don't try to just nitpick and make your own religion, because that's what cults are made out of. I've ranted way too long. I've gone into too many branches. But yeah, that's long story short. Drugs are bad for you. Don't do drugs. Maybe there's a drug out there that's actually a medication that actually helps you, because then there's pharmaceutical drugs. I forgot to mention, so there's a lot of ignorant people out there. So let me get this straight. Weed is bad for you. There's no good thing about it except maybe enhancing your mind for a temporary period of time and making you feel good and happier, filling your brain with dopamine, the feel-good drug. And it's going to probably, due to the fact that you're either so happy you won't feel pain, or I've heard it can be a painkiller, due to the fact that you're emotionally happy that you don't notice it, or it kills the pain, it numbs the pain. Your nerves are being distracted or numbed down to where you won't notice it. And if you think about it, if you're destroying nerves, you're not going to be as sensitive to certain things. Like, you won't have, as an extreme example, that if you kept doing it, your nerves would be less sensitive and you wouldn't notice any you would have trouble be able to feel certain things physically. So I mean, maybe if you really absolutely need it at the time, and it's, one tiny evil is fixing a greater evil. Here we come back to that. If someone's schizophrenic, you give them a medication, or Asperger, autistic, you give them a medication if they need it, and if it actually helps them better their life, well, then you're putting a small poison in their body that's not natural, but the end result is that they function better and they're able to live safer. So again, you get rid of you ingest a small problem to get rid of a greater problem. You commit evil to get rid of a greater evil. So I mean, it's all very fine line. And I apologize again if I have offended anyone, but a lot of people have had a lot of comedics, people who live off of comedy have to try to jump around and beat around the bush and walk on eggshells. People, offensive people who are being offensive, it really, again, it's a fine line. If someone says, hey, you're fat, they might be hateful, but they're saying a fact if you're actually fat. So don't go saying, oh, you're a bully, and maybe they're the bully, but either be the bigger man and walk away, or make them look completely stupid, lose the weight. I mean, unless you're completely, again, ill-willed and you have a lack of will or a lack of self-confidence or strength, rather than convert yourself to drugs and killing yourself or things that temporarily put a band-aid on your things, be a bigger person, not just to them or to anyone else. Be it for yourself. I mean, for the guy that says just do it, achieve your dreams by doing them in the long term, not short-term band-aids, acidic band-aids, But anyway, yeah, so it is weed. The benefits, there are a couple, but again, they're short term, and they're acidic, they're toxic, they're not something you should do because they are not healthy. If you want to say, oh, you're wrong, or hey, I have studies that show otherwise, well, please send them to me. Please send me the link. But if you were to be an educated person, you would know that through my channel, I'm not just going to spew things I have opinions on, or things I don't say things. Because the thing is, I don't argue unless I'm 100% correct, or I know for 100% sure. Otherwise, I just look like an idiot. And I hate looking like an idiot, because to what a man if not his word? Why say something if because if it's not true, or if it's just an opinion, you just make yourself look like an idiot. So why say something and make yourself look foolish? Unless you're 100% sure, which I am, because I've done so many studies. I've looked at the people who are getting handed money under the table to promote weed and have it legalized. I've looked at their quote-unquote false, which, I mean, it's false studies on weed. Then I've looked at the scientific people who actually have looked at the genetic makeup of how it works, how it affects the body, have used it on people, test subjects, because, I mean, people are loving to be guinea pigs if they're getting free weed, So, yeah, they'll see the effects. They'll actually study the people. There's studies. I mean, that's what studies is. That's how you further science. But, yeah, so they'll see that. So there's been millions of studies by people who are unbiased and wanting for them to be wrong. But when the facts come into play and 2 + 2 doesn't equal fish, it equals 4, the people that get money on the table say, oh yeah, you give me $1 million, I'll say it's fish, I'll say it's like whatever you want me to say it. Whereas the guy is just like not making as much money, and they're just doing it to better people's knowledge and to educate and make ignorant people less ignorant if they're willing to be. You have to be willing to be less ignorant. Or you can just be hateful the rest of your life, a hateful, ignorant person, and just spew out what everyone else tells you versus actually knowing what's really out there. So, yeah, I apologize for offended people, but, if you're offended just because you're ignorant, that's, I'm not going to be sorry for that. If you're offended because you're not sure of something, well then, comment below. Try to just take things as a scientific stuff. Don't just say, hey, you're a douchebag, go kill yourself. Say, hey, I was offended. I'm sure you don't mean to be offensive because you naturally want to be a polite, respectful young gentleman. Please explain why you said this, or what was the purpose behind this, and so on, so, etc., etc. So, yeah, I naturally want to be a good person. I actually feel that I am. I want to bring something to my community. I want to better the world if I can get that far. But I want to leave a mark from when I die. So why should I go around walking on eggshells trying to worry about if I'm being offensive, if being offensive actually helps someone grow as a person? Last example I'm going to bring to the table before I end this video, if it is still going, let me check. Yeah, it says I'm on air. So last thing I'm going to say is, for example, if you have a person who is completely a vegetable from the head down and can't do anything but maybe eat, sleep, and take a dump, and they literally have no control over their body other than maybe their eyeballs and maybe their mouth, if that. If you're going to say to them, oh, don't worry, don't be sad, you can do anything you can set your mind to. Well, unless we have advanced technology and the money to, again, give to under the table that's willing to let us be for those experimental trials, or if it's not made public yet, we're not going to make someone who's completely a vegetable from the head down be able to walk again. Now, when we do have that technology, we can maybe use that phrase or manner of speaking, saying, oh yeah, you have the potential to do anything if you set your mind to it once you get the surgery, or once you get this augmented enhancement, like, for example, Black Ops 3. But again, that's sci-fi. That's not necessarily been proven. There's maybe parts of it that are true, parts of it are not, parts of it we haven't gotten furthered yet in science. So it's all skeptical, and we don't know what's what and what's not yet. So, yet being the key word. So the way I would say it, and saying, oh, you're don't be sad, everything's going to be okay, because everything's not going to be okay. There's going to be times in life that you fall and you scrape your knee, and things that are going to go bad for you. But there's also going to be times, hopefully, that are going to be great. You're going to grow as a person. You're going to grow your character. Maybe start a family. start a business, be something great, and leave your mark on the world. So, I mean, sometimes more of one side than the other, but life goes on. So, how are you going to make your mark in the world? Like, are you going to just be mopey the entire time and say, "Oh, woe is me, I'm a goth, I'm Shadow the Hedgehog, I'm emo, I have it the worst in the world, even though there's slaves out there. I'm gonna go kill myself." It's like, well, you're not just being greedy to yourself, you're being greedy to those who are close to you. And you know what? The funny thing is, with that being said, if you're really, like, think of it as an animal. If an animal is suffering, put it out of its misery. Now, if there's a way to put it out of its misery without killing it, well, then fix the problem, or help it along to it can be independent and help it fix its own problem. And if that's not possible, but the person is really depressed and something in their brain and there's no medication that can fix it, I say, and again, this is my opinion, maybe I'm ignorant to this, but if someone's really suffering and there's absolutely no way to going about fixing that problem, why keep that person in pain? Why keep that animal in pain? Put it down, respect their wishes, and let it suffer no longer. If they're asking to commit suicide, or if they're asking for help to commit suicide, and there's no possible way for them to get the help they need, and not just shoving them in a mental institute, because actually in some cases that's a PTSD thing to wait and happen. In mental hospitals, you can grab a plastic force and stab yourself. In mental hospitals, they pretend like, oh, it's a safe place. No, if you want to, if you're smart enough, and you're not going to just beg for help, but then, like, you can't say you're going to commit suicide, but then say to someone you're going to commit suicide, because you know that they're going to try to help you. But again, this is constant self-hypocrisy, saying, I want to commit suicide, but maybe you're just wanting to ask for help. You're not sure if you really want to or not. Or those who are smart enough to say, hey, there's nothing left for me, and I know this for a fact, and I've tried everything, and I just won't say this ignorant, I've tried everything. Well, then, don't tell someone you're going to do it, just do it. Like, just do it, that sort of thing. If you really are suffering that bad and there's absolutely no help, and I'm not saying this, I'm not promoting suicide, I refuse to promote that, because, what a waste of life. What I'm saying is, if you have expended every option, and if you haven't said directly to someone that you're going to commit it, but you've looked into it and you've said it indirectly, and or maybe to someone you've close to, you say you feel like doing it, and you've expended all possible things, and you've done everything you think you can, medication, therapy, whatever. If I'm just saying, as the last resort, absolute last resort, I'm not promoting it. If the animal's suffering and there's no way about fixing it, well, then grant its wish. If a human is suffering, maybe it sucks, maybe it's something that can be committed to crime, but again, there's a lot of corrupt things, there's a lot of corrupt laws. Just because something's not, in your opinion, morally correct, what about the person who's suffering nonstop and there's, again, a possibility of never being able to fix it? Well, then just grant their wish, put them down, But for those who have the potential to better their lives, and they're just saying, woe is me, and they're not trying to fix it, then, maybe you don't deserve to be on this planet, because you're not offering anything to society, you're not helping yourself grow, you're not doing anything. You know what? Maybe, and I'm not saying for certain, but maybe you don't deserve to live. I don't know. If you're just going to throw away your life, doing drugs because you're depressed, or, doing heroin or whatever, then, maybe the bullies saying you're a waste of space have got something slightly correct, or, maybe what they're saying is possibly accurate in some way or not. And again, there's going to be so many people that are saying, oh, you're a hateful person. It's like, no, I want what's best for the world. I want, if people, have the potential to grow, then let them grow. If people are depressed and saying that they want to commit suicide, if there's a possible way to help them, whether via medication or therapy or something, then by all means, no, like, if you commit suicide, imagine those people that you leave behind. Like, it's sort of a selfish act, because you got your family who's going to be grieving over you. Yeah, maybe they'll get over it eventually, but maybe they won't. Maybe they'll still be suffering it inside every day, but they won't say it or show it. What is that doing to them, really? What are you doing to them? Think about what you're doing before you do it. Think before you act, because there's always that chance, once you're dead, and if there is no, afterlife, well, then that's game over. You got one with life. It is, yo, really gonna waste it just on a guess or something that hasn't been fully investigated, and not all options have been tried. You know, you really have to think before you act. So I'm gonna end it with that. As far as that, oh, well, the example I was trying to end before, again, too many branches off the same tree. If you don't tell a person who physically can't or mentally can't do something, oh, everything's going to be okay, because it's not. If you want to keep a positive light, speak factually. Don't say everything's going to be safe. Don't say you can do everything. You'll be a basketball player at like a midget who's vegetable to head down. No. If they really want to be a basketball player, too bad, you're not going to be. It's physically impossible unless science develops, and that's not likely to happen within the short period of time. So say, hey, what else are you interested? What are your other likes? Try to, sometimes you gotta beat around the bush if you're gonna be. It's all a fine balance between respect and truth. So, it's again, it's a fine line. So I would say, what are your other interests? Oh, you like photography. Well, there's physical therapy coming up. Maybe if they get your arms moving, you could take pictures and be a photographer. Maybe you can do things with computers. But again, if they can't do anything and there's no way to fix them, they're vegetable, the hands all the way from the head down, well then, if they can do something, great. Offer to them what they can do with their head or their teeth or their mouth or whatever. But if they can't, or if they can, let's say, maybe they just broke a leg or they're amputee. There's always limbs you can buy, artificial limbs. You're not limited. If you don't exhaust every option, then you're going to be miserable the rest of your life, but it's going to be your own fault. So, and if you are not able to help yourself mentally and physically, and it's actually not just, oh, I'm being lazy, or oh, I'm not taking the time to research all my options or to ask for help for all my options. So if you have help, okay, well, let me get a leg, or let me do something with the body that I do have that I still enjoy, and enjoy the rest of my life. Try to make something better for someone else, yourself, your family, your loved ones, the world. It really. That's pretty much all I've got to say. I think I've hit all of the key points. And again, for people who are going to spam my inbox saying, oh, you're a this and that, if you've watched the video from beginning to end, you understand I'm a scientific person. I wish the best for those who deserve to have the best. If you're a good person, I think good things should happen to you. If you're a bad person, well, I don't think good things should happen to you. So, if you're, for example, if you are a terrorist and you're like, oh, Allah will save me because I asked him for forgiveness, or I'm going to convert to Christianity because if I ask for forgiveness and accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, I can go commit thousands of kills or genocide, and as long as I say at the end of the day, oh, God, forgive me of my sins since you died on the cross, that's messed up. So, or if we, kill them with love, like, no. So, I don't want to make it any further than that, but yeah, I even know where I was going with this, but yeah, just try to. Oh yeah, so if you understood what I was trying to say, you know that I am I am naturally a caring person. I want what's best for the world, for people around me, for those I don't know, for the environment. I want what's best, and I want to improve what's around me, or anything that I can. So if I was a hateful person or an ignorant person or someone who is uneducated and saying things that are ignorant, well, then I don't think I would waste an additional 20 minutes or how long it's been explaining to you or try to convince you as to why. If I was really an evil person, I would think that, if I were evil, if I had an evil self, well, being still a scientific person and being evil, I wouldn't have anything to hide. Especially if I had the resources and money to hire any lawyers I wanted to buy off if I go kill a person. Okay, well, I can have a lawyer, because the way of the law is messed up. If you have enough money, you can do whatever you want and get away with whatever you want. So anything is buyable, really, anything. So, I mean, I'm not an evil person. I don't wish to commit evil acts. I don't wish to worsen the world. So, that can't be true, because I know it myself. I'm not just lying to myself. I have no reason to. I'm not lying to you. I have no reason to. To my own quote, and I don't think anyone else has said it, but I've said it. I've just thought of him, like, and I say it all the time. To what a man if not his word? If I'm going to go be spewing it to my friends or my loved ones or to myself, especially myself, well then, you know, what's the it just doesn't make any sense naturally. Hold on, Ray Gun, I'll talk to you in a sec. So yeah, I have no reason to do that. As far as ignorance and spewing out things that are opinionated, no, I've done my research. I've talked to people who have done way more research than me and have explained to me, and they're completely unbiased. But after all that research, and once they have the 100% correct answer, then they might be biased based on their morals. Like, okay, once they did all the research unbiased and say, well, there could be this and there could be that, maybe this person is right, maybe this person isn't. Once they've taken that all into account and then they actually have 100% factual answer, then they'll say, their morals might get involved and say, well, this is killing so many people, and these people are selling off this thing to be good when it isn't. So then because your morals wanting people to live longer than what they are, or you want them to be healthier to your kids, naturally wanting to protect them, well then yeah, I understand, because it's your morals. It's you wanting to do good. You wanting to keep your family in good health, your friends in good health. So, and I think I actually had mentioned one other thing about yeah, soccer moms, something like that. I had said yeah, well, understand that if you're gonna let your kids do crap, then you're responsible and take responsibility. Don't try to depend the blame on someone else, you know. So I think what Derpy represents as far as that goes is that there's people who have different qualities and different physical and mental attributes, and you have to just accept them for where they are. They're not, you know, trying to be bad people. They're trying to do what they can with what they have. So I think it's more of a connecting rather than, okay, here's someone who's, whether it be mentally or physically disabled, since it has to do with their eyes. Here's that character. It's connecting. It's not providing any harm. It's not insulting your children. It's not promoting, you know, go smash your head against the wall and become cross-eyed. It's saying, hey, there's people, different people of, you know, different strokes with different, or different folks with different strokes, and you just have to accept them for who they are. Whether they're evil people, and you can eventually change it legally, who they are, through court or through maybe intimate actions and saying, hey, you know, let me talk to you about what you've been doing, if they're going to be willing to change. So I just don't understand why blame someone else. You bought them, you bought the 5-year-old that plays this game and everyone calls a squeaker an M-rated game. You let them watch freaking Human Centipede, and then you're gonna blame the people who made it. It's like, oh, what kind of twisted crip is that? I'm sure going into that, being, again, this is just an extreme example, going to the fact that you heard of what Human Centipede is, and you knew what you had an idea of what is going on from everyone saying extreme things about an extreme movie. You're walking right into your own problem. You know that it's going to be bad, but you're like, oh no, it can't be that bad. Or whatever you say to yourself to make yourself sleep at night or feel better about your wrongdoings. So soccer moms, or whoever you want to say it, don't blame everyone else for your lack of correct parenting or your mistakes. Take responsibility. Now, if I had made some mistake and have said something that's inaccurate, which it's highly doubtful, but it's not impossible. Like, I've screwed up some words. When I've been flustered about ignorant people, I might have said a word or pronounced a word incorrectly. I don't deny that, you know, because I feel passionate about something, and sometimes that there's so much blood flowing, and so many ideas trying to get out, I can't say it, you know, at the rate I want to say it, and it all just sometimes becomes jumbled. So, you know, I will admit I make mistakes. I'm not perfect, but I'm willing to better myself and not just say, oh, it's everyone else's fault. or oh no, you're wrong, I never said that. You know, I'm like, okay, I'll say step back and say, okay, maybe I did. Let me fix it, or maybe you're right, or let me, you know, take a step back, take it from a scientific standpoint, try to prove yourself wrong, and if you're not wrong, well, then simply correct the person. And if they're not willing to accept your answer to the question they just asked, whether if they're not willing to listen, or if they're asking the question but then interrupt you, well then, you know, just move on. They're you know, what some people could be considered a waste of space because they're not able to admit when they're wrong. They're not able to ask a question without either able to listen or not interrupt you. So then just take them out of your lives. Just ignore them and move on. Maybe there's some people like, oh, you know, peace, love, and understanding. Well, yeah, but that only goes so far. If you try to help them, or even further try to help them, and you've exhausted your resources, or maybe if you've sent a friend who might be better prepared to help them with you, then sure, if you think there's a possibility and you're willing to waste that time or use that time to help them, then, you know what, good for you. You've made that completely waste of a space person into someone who's respectable. Good for you. But, you know, if they're beyond saving, then why waste your time? Because everyone's not perfect, there's going to be some of those who are not capable of being saved, and you're just going to have to accept that. For example, Batman. Oh, well, I'm going to keep my egotistical self saying I can't kill the Joker. Yet thousands of lives are being lost due to the Joker being alive, and Joker has stated this on many accounts. And due to him not wanting to be forgotten and to be, even though not remembered in the best of ways, he's psycho. He doesn't care as long as he's remembered, as long as he's made his mark. Because he understands the end result. He understands that he's going to die. He understands the long term of what he's doing. But he's not able to process what's right and wrong. Or if he is, he's not caring and mentally just not stable. But at least he's psycho and smart enough to know the end result. Well, where do I want to be when I've killed it completely, committed semi-genocide? I'm sure he wouldn't want to kill everyone, because then he wouldn't be remembered, and there would be no fun in that. Or he would maybe just want to, maybe someone like Discord would want to be cause a little bit of chaos. But they're never wanting to hurt. He's never wanting to hurt anyone. He's just wanting to have fun and see the reactions on people's faces. So, you know, it is what it is. So, I think I've touched all the tree branches that I've come back to, and I think I've gotten all the topics I wanted to out of the way. So I am going to probably, unless something comes up, I'm probably going to be explaining, whether it be explaining or ranting on my next video of how gun attributes have gone from completely legitimate and what makes sense, again, from a good quality game like the first Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4, to Black Ops 3, one of the worst Call of Duties in my opinion, due to the fact that it's completely, I won't deny that it maybe got good gameplay, and I like what they did with it in certain aspects, and I respect it overall as a video game. But compared to the many video games that are higher quality and made and taking many more hours and many more quality things to make the game better, it's nothing up there. It's just something that everyone recognizes and is a brand to sell. So I mean, I liked the zombies, I like what they did with it, I liked the multiplayer, I liked what they did with it, but it's nothing compared to the past and possibly the future if the remake of the new Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare remastered. So I mean, maybe it really just depends. I can't say for sure. So I think that covers everything. Oh yeah, so just the attributes, I will be discussing how they were valid and now most of them, if not all of them, in certain aspects are no longer valid or accurate or make sense. So check my next video out next time. I try to do it daily or every other day, or just, you know, whenever they come up. So be sure to check out my channel if you see and you're skeptical. Watch me some other videos that it seems to pique your interest, and then make a decision. Don't make a decision right away. Again, try to be the scientific thinker that I know almost all of you have the potential of being. So yeah, like, subscribe, share, whatever. Until next time, Sky out. Have a good day.